All right. Should get us nice and safe. Anything under 30 is short, but it's cold AF. Yeah, it was a little chilly. Alrighty, we are back off the wagon and back into Modern. We're going to be playing a little bit of Mono White Modern on Enduring Ideal. So for anyone who's never seen this wacky sorcery from Savers of Kamigawa, thank you, Brian Tinsman, for bringing us the glorious Enduring Ideal. It's 5 white. For a sorcery, it says search your library for an enchantment card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. It also has the epic keyword, which says you cannot play spells for the rest of the game. Well, that sucks, but as a plus side, every time it's your upkeep, you get a free copy of this spell. So we get to search our library for an enchantment card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle our library. What the hell are we going to do with that? Well, let me tell you. We can establish a combination of cards which mean we can't be killed between 9 lives, which gains counters every time you would be dealt damage, and Solemnity, which prevents things from gaining counters. So with these two cards together, we can't take any more damage. However, if our opponent is able to remove the card 9 lives, we will lose the game, but it has hexproof, so that's pretty good. We can also search our library for Phyrexian Unlife, which combines with 9 lives in the same, or combines with Solemnity in the same way that 9 lives does. It means we can't die from pretty much any damage. We also have the card Suppression Field. This is going to tax our opponent's fetch lands, planeswalkers, all sorts of things that they might want to be using proactively to try to kill us. We can get the enchantment Greater Auramancy, which gives enchanted creatures we control Shroud, and other enchantments we control Shroud. So this stops our opponents from removing our enchantments with any manner of thing. And then we have as our finisher Form of the Dragon. So once we set up a state in which we cannot die, we play the card Form of the Dragon. Form of the Dragon says at the beginning of your upkeep, Form of the Dragon deals 5 damage to any target. At the beginning of each end step, your life total becomes 5, and creatures without flying can't attack you. So basically, you're a dragon. You are a dragon. You equals dragon. Okay, the ideal was over the Form of the Dragon, and I didn't know how we were going to win. Yeah. So we were going to guess Form of the Dragon. But how are we going to cast this 7 mana enchantment? Well, let me tell you, folks, we've got 4 copies of Leyline of Sanctity in this deck, and 4 copies of Lotus Bloom, and 4 copies of Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. So we can suspend a Lotus Bloom in the early game. This card has suspend 3, and then it is a Black Lotus. So if we suspend this on our first turn, on our 4th turn, we're going to have a Black Lotus, which if we have 4 mana plus the Black Lotus, we can cast Enduring Ideal, or we could theoretically actually hard cast Form of the Dragon if we have to. And Nykthos Shrine to Nyx combines with our permanents, so combines up with the devotion of our permanents, which with Wall of Omens to prevent early beatdown, Suppression Field to slow down our opponent's activated abilities, Greater Auramancy to protect our enchantments, On Thin Ice as a removal spell that also adds to your devotion count. Holy crap, we're playing On Thin Ice. Okay, so I replaced the extra snow-covered plains in this deck list with regular plains, thinking that that's almost always an aesthetic choice nowadays. In this case, it's not, because we're playing On Thin Ice, so give me a couple seconds to rent some additional copies of snow-covered plains, because I don't own enough. So good catch me. Not registering for this league without catching that first. Hold on, clear the deck. Snow-covered plains. Always do your research first, folks. Don't drink and register deck. That also includes don't over-caffeinate or undersleep or other choices that you could make that would be negative to your performance. That was almost bad. Yes, it was. And then we've got 3 copies of Silence. So Silence says your opponents can't cast spells this turn. Costs 1 white. This is a card we can use in a number of different matchups. In control matchups, we can use this as basically a proactive Veil of Summer. So we cast the Silence. Our opponent can't play spells until the end of the turn if they let this resolve. And then we play our Enduring Ideal. So that is one way we can sneak the Enduring Ideal through. And then we can also use that against certain combo decks to stop them from being able to go off, which sometimes gives us enough time to set up our stuff and be able to win the game. So we've got a lot of sort of prison elements that protect us. I use the term prison loosely here in that, let's see, add 4, add 4, add 4, add 1, add 1. Okay, there we go, fixed it. So I use the term prison loosely here. What we're doing is creating a pillow fort around ourselves that protects us from harm, protects our opponent from killing us, rather than stopping them from doing most things. Obviously, Suppression Field is the exception there. And then our sideboard is more random modern nonsense. So with that all out of the way, let's hop into a league. I have completed 4 full weeks of not drinking any alcohol as my, I don't know, annual tradition at this point, just to make sure that I am comfortable to do so whenever I want to. And I've got this lovely margarita here, which is working our way into this evening. And this year was harder than last year with my new enthusiasm for cocktails, as well as a global pandemic causing us all to be locked down and stay indoors. But with some shaken sodas, homemade orgeat, and all sorts of stuff, I was able to make it through that month, and we're back on the pain train. All right. So we have an Enduring Ideal and a Greater Auramancy and very little else going on. We're on the draw here, and our opponent took a mulligan. Let's take a mulligan ourselves. Definitely looking for something better than what we had. This hand is basically perfect. We have a turn 4 Enduring Ideal and a turn 1 Leyline of Sanctity. I think I'm going to pitch one of these Lotus Blooms. I suppose I could pitch one of the Snow-Covered Plains. What are we, a 22 land deck, I believe? Yeah, we're a 22 land deck. I could just hold on to the pitch basic. All right, let's pitch the basic. It's a toss-up. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have another land at some point, but I guess having double Lotus Bloom is not the end of the world. Let's put this Leyline into play. Hopefully we're against some variety of black deck that's going to be really pissed off that we immediately had a way to foil their Thoughtseizes. Misty Rainforest Breeding Pool says maybe not. Was this Delver? Noble Hierarch. Okay, interesting. So let's go suspend, and we're going to F6 a couple times. Thalia would be annoying out of my opponent. Not devastating, but annoying. Opponent plays nothing. That's terrifying. So we're looking to draw a Silence at some point in the future. I wonder if our opponent's on some kind of Chord deck. Bant and Noble Hierarch always makes me think of Chord. Just waiting for second main phase Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, it definitely could have been. Always yield to these. Hell yeah. 9 lives. Perfect pickup. Wait, is that Infect? It could be. Infect with Teferi, maybe? The Bant Infect deck? Could be. Good call. Good call. So this 9 lives is going to be a bit of a banger, huh? So 9 lives says if a source would deal damage to you, prevent that damage, put an incarnation counter on 9 lives. And right now they have only one source that's possible to deal damage to me. So, Solemnity as well, yeah. So this looks like it's going to be a real easy game. I suppose since they have 1 mana untapped here, I should have maybe played the Phyrexian Unlife first. Because if they have a Spell Pierce here, which they sometimes play in the main deck, it could be problematic. But I think that they're just reading 9 lives right now and realizing how horrible their life has just become, because now they have to hit me a total of 9 times. If they're attacking me with 2 creatures, they get a gimme on that one. But we have 2 Lotus Blooms coming off suspend right now. So they're going to hit me for 2, quote-unquote, here, but I'm only going to gain 1 life counter on 9 lives, which is great. 1 Lotus Bloom coming in. Cast that. Lotus Bloom 2 coming in. Cast that. And do we draw anything interesting? No. Do I just jam the Enduring Ideal? I have 2 mana open in case they have Spell Pierce. I can't imagine them playing anything like I think we just jam here. I can't imagine them playing anything along the lines of negate, like, in their main deck. So this should be all over. Okay, so that's resolved once. So I think we go get Solemnity just to make 100% sure that we're just not going to die. I guess I could get on Thin Ice and just exile their creature, but OP casts Flusterstorm. Yeah, that could have been a thing. I don't know. Let's just get Solemnity. So now if they don't have any way to bounce permanents, I just win. We can always get redundant copies of Solemnity. The next thing we'll get is Greater Auramancy, and then we'll get Form of the Dragon, and it should be all over from there. At this point, my opponent hasn't conceded, so we can safely assume either they don't understand the interaction of my cards, or they have a way to bounce permanents. So that's why we're going to get Greater Auramancy right now. Okay. And we have 2 copies of this card, and the reason we have 2 copies of this card is it says other enchantments you control have shrouds. So technically right now, Greater Auramancy, they don't get it, they attack. I mean, they might be just attacking for like the, you know, like you gotta attack, right? I mean, you can't just like let your opponent combo kill you without, you know, holding priority once or twice. You gotta front on them, right? Be like, yo, I totally can win. Def, most def, like the rapper. All right, Form of the Dragon. GG. Got him. I mean, I could play a redundant Leyline of Sanctity, but I don't. The moral victory. Yeah. Like, they should have kept attacking there, in my opinion, but they didn't. All right, so we are against Hinfect. I think we probably want Pithing Needle because it gives us the opportunity to turn off their Ink Moth Nexi, which might be relevant. And then Archon of Sun's Grace. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2. You can't play a redundant Leyline. Oh, right, because I had played the epic spell. You right, dog. You right. So we don't need Leylines in this matchup at all. Our opponent will not be playing any cards that target us. But they will be playing cards that can be blocked, so maybe let's bring in a Grand Abolisher. And not because he's in any way useful against their creatures, really, or their spells. Just because it's good against their, yeah. And then I think Silence is probably really bad. If I silence them during their upkeep on a turn where they want to kill me, I think they'll just play their pump spells in response. He does stop Spell Pierce. Yeah, I guess so. And things like Negate. Yeah, actually, you know what? If I'm thinking of their post-board strategy, it's probably a good idea to have Grand Abolisher. So thank you, Sol Seras, for the recommendation, because I think you are probably nicely lucid on those things. All right, we've got Solemnity and 9 lives in our hand, 2 lands and a Grand Abolisher, and we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not spectacular, but Solemnity is almost a 1-card combo against our opponent, so I'm pretty likely to play the 9 lives first, as long as they kill my Grand Abolisher, because I think it's pretty likely that that they'll have a counter. But it depends on if they have mana up or not. Let us see. Uh-oh. How much are we getting hit for? 5? 5 is okay. 5 is not the end of the world. Field is nice. Field is something. Stops Inkmoth 2 if they need to use that. I mean, on my turn? I guess so. So, Grand Abolisher here should at least cause them to jam a pump spell that they don't want to. Okay, cool. Lotus Bloom. Perfect. Draw land. So if we play Suppression Field, activating Inkmoth Nexus becomes 3 mana, which they can't do an attack right now. But I think we just jammed Solemnity down their throat because it's our turn. They can't cast anything right now, and this should just be GG. The Suppression Field. No. I understood that you meant Suppression Field at that moment. I mean, they play fetch lands too, right? So they're a fetch land deck, and they're a Inkmoth deck, and this looks like all she wrote. I mean, I can't... They don't have a creature right now that can deal damage to me, so... Beauty. Beauty. All right, let's try to draw land. Oh, yeah. Thin ice? Hell yeah. Get to the ice, and then we bash. Look how big. I don't know what they're going to do. Neither do I. I mean, they might be playing Teferi. They might be playing some variety of enchantment removal. Like, they probably have Knight of Autumn or something in their deck. Right, they should do. I can't believe you won the matchup lottery so hard. Listen, friend. Listen. Do you even understand how badly I've lost the matchup lottery in the last little while? I deserve this, all right? America deserves freedom and justice, and so do I. When I was playing my red-green lands deck the other week, I literally ran into, I don't know, 0 copies or so of my own Blood Moons. Like, I was playing a whole bunch of matchups where Blood Moon would have been a banger, and just never drew it. America deserves nothing. That I don't think that's fair. I think there's lots of wonderful people live in America. We got what we deserved. I guess I just all right, let's stay off this topic. This is not a safe topic for me right now. I wish nothing but the best for all of the people of America coming into the wow. So are we just casting Form of the Dragon here? Pretty sure we are. I can't see this going badly. Do it. I did it. It's done. It's friggin' done, dude. They have a Noble Hierarch, which I can block with multiple creatures, so if they can give their Noble Hierarch flying and unblockable, I guess I could die? No, I have 9 lives and Solemnity, so I don't... Force of Vigor. That's a good one. I mean, it's not that good, but it's a good one. So I have a copy of 9 lives in play right now, so I guess I'll take 1. This is kind of like the reverse infect, right? This turns infect damage into just regular damage. That's neat. I don't know, bash him for 2. I think multiple 9 lives work the way that I think they would. So these are both replacement effects that I control. And I'm pretty sure every time I would take damage, I can choose which of these replacement effects happens first. And then whichever one happens sort of like up the chain or upstream will prevent the other one from having to happen. So we'll see what happens when I get hit. If and when I get hit. And they have hexproof, so my opponent can never Force of Vigor them anyway. I can't imagine how this could go badly, so let's find out. As always. So right now we're going to find out. We're going to get hit for 2, quote unquote. Yeah, and we choose which replacement effect happens first. So right now we basically have 18 hits. My favorite replacement effect interaction is Chains of Mephistopheles with Dredge. Yeah. I'm also a fan of Dredge with Narset, Parter of Veils. That's I think that's pretty neat. All right, so they trade their Glistener Elf for my for 1 counter on my Grand Abolisher. I think we'll take that. Second Noble Hierarch is largely irrelevant. Opponent boy has managed to stay in this game a lot longer than I would have thought. So then if I have a Phyrexian Unlife and they hit me with one of these Noble Hierarchs, then I just take regular damage until I get to 0. So besides the devotion, it's just worth playing this anyway. So we're going to. We can't jam ideals because then we can't win the game. Yes. Yeah. I think if we played Enduring Ideal, we actually wouldn't be able to win the game anymore. Let's actually inspect that while we're waiting here. I guess, yeah, because if we draw Grand Abolishers, we can't play them. In theory, if we cast an Enduring Ideal, I assume my opponent would scoop, but I'm not actually going to take that for granted because they didn't before. But we're up on clock right now, and we don't really have to make any relevant decisions, so I'm not really worried about, I don't know, anything. So we're going to block with Wall of Omens here because they're basically telegraphing that they have a pump spell that they want to play. Yes, they do. My Wall of Omens is going to eat it. That's no problem. Cool. We are interested in finding another copy of Solemnity. So we're actually not in a great spot here. Like, we are going to start getting hit, and this is going to put a counter on one of our 9 lives, right? Oop. Yeah, okay, so it went on the first one. So I just have to make sure to split these evenly as we go along. If we get another copy of 9 lives, though, we can put that first in the chain, so... Yeah, our opponent is definitely like going kicking and screaming. They really are not giving us anything for free, which is, I mean, they're not required to. So good for you, opponent. Stick to your guns. Never give up. Never surrender. Stay hydrated, folks. Anybody out there in YouTube land who's watching this in the future, stay hydrated. All right. Okay, flooding out. Do 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 ba do 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 ba do do do. I found infect players have a hard to break spirit. They're tenacious suckers, aren't they? One of my best friends is an infect player. It's a good human. One of the best. They have 8 cards in hand. Good lord. Okay, there we go. Hey! That's what I'm talking about. Another copy of Form of the Dragon. Which I actually want to draw... I would really like to draw Greater Auramancy before I play this Form of the Dragon. So in the next 3 draw steps, I would like to draw Form of the Dragon. They're still playing Infect, so yeah. I think that's part of the thing is, like, when you do see an Infect player, you know they're tenacious because, you know, they're playing Infect in the first place. In Legacy, I Raven's Crimed a whole hand with Loam, wastelanded all their lands, had 3 Planeswalkers, and they only conceded after I Ghost Quarter looped all the basics out of their deck. Goodness gracious. All right, well, they used their Wilt to kill my Suppression Field, so that's a great feeling. Drawing a second Suppression Field for the Rubbins, also a good feeling. So, you know, you love to see it. Oh, please counter this. Oh, please counter that. Oh, no, they wanted to sack their Waterlogged Groove. Unfortunately, I still have a Suppression Field in play, so not an option. Yeah, no, exactly. They didn't realize that I still have one. Killing one Suppression Field is not the same as killing all the Suppression Fields. We also have Abolisher. Oh, right. Yes, I guess so. It's weird that it let them try to do it, though. Like, they got to tap it, But maybe they were holding W, but then I should have seen the mana in their pool, so anyway. Alright. Pithing Needle. That's a good one. So we're just going to turn off their Inkmoth Nexus here, which is like obviously not a huge deal, but could be. Currently, activating their Misty Rainforest will cost them 4 mana, which I'm just a huge fan of. I do wonder about this form of the dragon. Like, should I just jam it? I'm hesitant because this is my last one, and if they kill it, I can't wait for us to find a way to get a game 3. I honestly think that if this form of the dragon gets killed, like, we might have to go to game 3. The only thing I can imagine is if they get ahead on decking themselves, which they definitely can do with fetch lands, then at that point we would just, like, if we get the Solemnity lock going, then we just win like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm pretty sure I'm going to jam this form of the dragon now. And this 9 lives. And then we have to find a copy of Solemnity, but they might have enchantment removal anyways. Yeah, but we could always wait to find a copy of Greater Auramancy first, right? Like, I don't have to play this form of the dragon right now. I'm doing it to expedite winning this game, but in pure strategic, technical sense, it's almost definitely not the right thing to do. And if they kill it right now, like they just did, then all of a sudden we're in a really awkward spot. Because technically speaking, I don't have any way to win the game anymore. But it is possible we find a copy of Solemnity, and then they can't kill us. And then from that point, we just deck them. Because they are at 35 cards remaining in library. We are at 34, but they might not realize that. So we're going to take up to 2. You didn't click the 9 lives, did just auto choose. So if I've been clicking OK, it's been automatically choosing this one, which in theory would be a problem if I thought that they could ever remove any of my copies of 9 lives. Like, oh no, they removed the one with, 2 counters, and I had this one with 5. So if we had waited one more turn, we would be in great shape here. But if they remove a copy of 9 lives, I lose the game anyway. So currently we have 4, 5, 7, so 16 hits of damage we can take, and we're taking 2 per turn, so we have 8 turns left to find a copy of Solemnity. We're way up on clock, but if they get a game 3 out of us, then we're taking 3 hits, so we are no longer in such a good spot. Oh no, we are now in a slightly better spot. We'll get rid of the Blighted Agent just because it has unblockable. Also, they're spending all their mana each turn to do this, so we have 7 turns right now, so hopefully we can survive. We're currently even on cards in library. You want to hit me for 1? Oh, what? What the hell was that? Oh, mutagenic growth. Oh, 2 mutagenic growths. Okay, so they're hitting me for 3. Holy freaking nobles. Yeah. All right, so we'll put it here. Then we'll put another... Ooh, oh, they're slipping and sliding around. Okay, so I guess the game is only counting how many counters they have. I can't believe it. All right, we got a blocker. The noble beats. So 4, 4, and 3. So we currently have 11 dings we can take before we lose. Wait, no, that's not how it works. 8. Okay, it's less than I thought. Oh, holy crap, they fetched. You go, girl. All right, so now they're going to deck first. So now all we have to do is resolve a Solemnity because our copy of Solemnity will have Shroud. So, Nykthos, not what I needed, but okay. Boy, do we have a lot of mana. Oh, if we find a copy of Greater Auramancy, we can use that to fetch a single card, and then we'll be ahead on decking, but then every other time we resolve it, we can just fail to find. Yeah, we just need a copy of Solemnity right now. So, does this activate Inkmoth? Nope. Scale up. They overloaded scale up. I think this is the first time I've ever seen that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have 3 hits left. I'm going to take this. So add a counter, add a counter, add a counter, add a counter. All right, so I've got, no, I've got 3 hits left. Well, that doesn't do it. Almost dead. You go, Infect player. You can do it. I believe. So all they really need right now is a single pump spell and they'll be able to win. Pump spell kills us, doesn't it? It can. It depends on how they attack, because I do have a Grand Abolisher to block with, which is obviously not a big deal, but... Okay, so they have multiple pump spells. So we'll block the Glistener Elf. They have to have 3 pump spells that they can all cast, which shouldn't be a problem for them. 1. 2. 1 more. They didn't get it. Okay, we're at 1. 1 hit and then we're dead. That's not gonna do it. Oh! Wait, we can block this, so they have to attack with Inkmoth Nexus. We should lose here, but yeah, you got me. What a freaking game. Yeah, we can't board any better than we did, so we just have to play more carefully. Once we lose our first form of the dragon, we have to... Oh, we did board in the Archon of Sun's Grace. I thought we did. Anyway, Archon of Sun's Grace is a way we can win as well. And they didn't see it in that game, so that means that they're very unlikely to have any way to deal with an Archon of Sun's Grace. So we should... Yeah. Obviously, in that game, like, the whole way we played, nothing would have changed if we had actually drawn it. This hand is fine-ish. Yeah, double Solemnity. I don't think we can... I don't think I'd turn this hand out of bed. We've got a On Thin Ice, a Grand Abolisher, and double Solemnity. So... And our opponent took a mulligan, so should be in great shape here. Top deck, Suppression Field. Noogle. Hey, I did the thing. So hold 1 in hand till they destroy the other one, since they have Force of Vigor for their removal. Correct. Okay, so they can fetch if they want to, but... Okay, good draw. Let's play the Grand Abolisher, because then next turn we resolve the Solemnity. Now to just not miss lands for the rest of the game. That's the plan. Alright, they're fetching... What are you gonna do? Spell Pierce my Grand Abolisher? That's ain't legal. That's not even legal. Can't do that. Alright, got him. Goes to combat. I'll take it. Let's draw a lance. Let's draw a lance. Come on, deck. Hold together. Stay on target. Oh, Wall of Omens. That is a quality draw. Adds to my devotion count. Might draw me a land, just like I wanted it to. All right. Might as well attack for 2 here. I would on Thin Ice the Hierarch, but I want to use that to burn one of their pump spells later on when they do have a creature, and then we can Solemnity afterwards. Devotion to White is currently 4, so Nykthos is producing 1 mana. Activating Nykthos costs 2, plus the Nykthos itself is a land that taps, so you want to be tapping it for 3 or greater when you use that. Yeah, that was the card I assumed was in their deck somewhere. Are they going to bounce my... They can't bounce my Suppression Field. They literally can't activate their Teferi. That is phenomenal. I am so excited about what's about to happen to them. I am so excited about what's about to happen to them. So on Thin Ice, nail their Hierarch, activate Nykthos for 5, play another Suppression Field, so they definitely can't activate their Teferi, play Solemnity, go to combat, bonk the Teferi. Now all he can do is plus for 4 mana. Womp, womp. They couldn't even block pump if they wanted. Agreed. Opponent's in some trouble. And there's a Solemnity in play, so their Blighted Agent doesn't even deal damage. Straight up. So if they block, my Grand Abolisher does not get a -1/-1 counter. So, see ya. We're going to go ahead and not play the second copy of Solemnity, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yeah, we're just going to play Enduring Ideal here and get 2 copies of Greater Auramancy in a row. And then do... Oh, I could have played the On Thin Ice first, but whatever. It's fine. I think it's not going to matter. Yeah, I screwed up, but it doesn't matter. I think we're fine. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, no, it's not your fault. There's a delay on Twitch chat. So, are you going to Force of Vigor my 1? Okay, but you can't activate that. So, FYI. Okay, but, like, I don't... I don't know if you were aware of this, but, So everything has Shroud now. And, okay, attack the Fairy. Sure, it's not going to get a -1/-1 counter. Oh no, they can activate their Teferi this turn. I hope they don't plus him. No, wait, I mean, I hope they don't minus him. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm okay with it. I don't know, yeah, let's get an On Thin Ice for now. Like, I'm not in a rush. I might be in a Genesis, but I'm not in a rush. Alright. I don't know, let's bonk their Teferi. We can get the, we can get the Form of the Dragon this turn if we want to. Again, I have a Solemnity in play, and Shroud on everything, so I really don't... If they bounced your Grand Abolisher, you couldn't replay it, though. That's true. That is true facts. If they want to spend all 4 of their mana and their Teferi to do so, I would not ever be able to... I should have bounced your Abolisher, I guess? But how can you beat this board? What is the thing? Fracturing Gust? Oh, if they plus their Teferi, I don't get to Enduring Ideal. That's true. That's a true fact. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been bad. This game was almost awful. Yeah. So, for the rest of the game, you can't cast spells at the beginning of each of your upkeeps. Copy this spell, except for its epic ability. Yeah. No, it's not that it just says search, it's for some reason it doesn't say cast. Let's get the third suppression field for the Rubbins, I guess. So, no, it wasn't also really bad. That part. Sometimes even the dumb rules are more dumb. Sometimes even the stupid interactions that were never meant to be are even more stupid and more not meant to be than you ever thought they could be. Well, that was an absolute blast. Corner cases in Magic the Gathering. The only thing that's consistent is the inconsistency. All right. Okay. In the dark, or not, this hand is god-awful. All right, so ship that. This is much better. This is almost perfection. Keep this, bottom one of the Nykthos, jam the Leyline. Can people counter the Enduring Ideal copies? Yes. So it's a triggered ability that happens during your upkeep every turn that places a copy on the stack without you having to cast it. Because reasons. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Breeding Pool again. Did Infect win something recently that I should know about? Because I'm getting a feeling. And I can't stop the feeling. No follow-up land. Good gravy. Yeah, jam the Solemnity, I guess. OP sitting here like this is the weirdest Bogle start. I hope so. My opponent's Uro pile has been amazingly underwhelming thus far. I thought Uro just made Breeding Pool the most expensive shock land. It did. This is the weirdest thing ever. It's definitely up there. I should probably jam the Suppression Field here, but I want to play the Leyline to increase the amount of mana I have access to. Slam Suppression Field so fast. Yeah, I didn't. I probably should have. That is almost definitely going to be a mistake, y'all. But for whatever reason, I decided I wanted to accelerate my mana. All right. Yeah, still haven't drawn more mana, so but I can play Suppression Field and then Phyrexian Unlife. Force of Negation. All right. Well, opponent knows what they're on about. Sorry. All right. It was worth it. All right. They're going to crack another fetch, lead on silence. So if you have lands that win the game somehow, you can still use them through the epic ability. Time to Nat tick down a Dark Depths. If only it were legal in this format, I'm sure that we would be playing a copy or two. All right, so opponent definitely has a Cryptic Command. Chase the Mind Sculptor. Sure, why not? I honestly forgot which parts of that combo weren't legal. I just knew that you couldn't do it. Ah, here we go. Okay, so we cast Silence. Bang. Also my opponent. Yeah, okay, good. I didn't count, but I'm assuming I still have 7. I have 6. Fuck. Oh, magic. This is what happens when you get distracted. All right, well. And I didn't resolve that. All right, we're done here. All right. Count your mana, folks. Oh, we were screwed anyway. All right, good to know. That was awful. It was not the best. It was not my finest hour, I will say that much. I can definitely assume we want to rest in peace here. Grand Abolisher seems good. They'll probably board out most of their creature removal. Do we bring in Rip? I'm going to bring in Rip. I think bringing it in is probably good. Wall of Omens we definitely don't need. And then, yeah, we probably don't need too many of these pieces. I'm going to assume 9 lives is okay. Just because it's hexproof. And the Archon of Sun's Grace feels like it'll also be good here if they just keep a few Solemnity. Yeah, probably. I mean, it doesn't hose anything in my deck, so... I'm pretty sure we should have the Pithing Needle too. Take out Anne on Thin Ice. Hopefully the rest of pieces will deal with like the Uros, but yeah, it's never wrong to... Your opponent can't cast spells with the chosen name. I feel like we should also have Gideon's Intervention in here for like Cryptic Command, because that's probably most of their ways to deal with most of our permanents. So take off a couple more copies of On Thin Ice. You could also hit Uro with this. I mean, obviously we're kind of leaning a little hard in one direction, so let's go like a 2-2 split on Thin Ice and Solemnity here. We're gonna try it like this. I have no idea how you're supposed to sideboard for this matchup, but one thing you're definitely not supposed to do is burn your hand on stupid crap like I did. All right, good hand though. So here's hoping that that is gonna be good enough. I mean, our opponent had a really good early hand where they had the Force of Negation into the Mana Leak to completely shaft our early game stuff. So, you know, this is the kind of deck that will beat you if you're inexperienced, you're playing sloppy like I just did. Okay. We do get to jam this Rest in Peace here, which should be pretty okay. You know what? Let's play the Grand Abolisher first because there's no 1 CMC. This is game 3? No, this is game 2. That was game 1. We were just sideboarding for game 2. Yeah. So they don't have a way to counter that, and now that it's in play, we'll see if they kept in any kind of removal. Looks like they did. Path to Exile is not the end of the world here, though. I mean, obviously they can now cast counter spells, but on the flip side... Words. Let's just jam Archon here, because they definitely can't counter it, and they probably don't have a second Path to Exile in their hand right now. We don't need Rest in Peace yet. They have Teferi? Gosh, I hope not. Alright, well, Grand Abolisher, rip. I hate Teferi. I don't mind Teferi that much. Yeah. I mean, when he's just being the ultimate tempo play, he's a bit of a dick. Okay, they plus their Teferi. We got our Rested piece in play, though, and it significantly reduces the power level of these decks, usually. Just really hope they don't have, like, Supreme Verdict here for no good reason. Jeez. Oh my god. Alright. So, if I play the Grand Abolisher, I net 0 mana off my Nykthos, so the best thing to do here is probably play the Archon. And then next turn I can play Grand Abolisher and then have, again, just 5 mana. So that doesn't really get me anywhere. My hand is kind of super frustratingly awkward. I guess playing Grand Abolisher is the best, because if they don't bounce it, I just want my 4 mana enchantments not to be a waste game 1. I mean, this is game 2, but yeah, I mean, it's not like they boarded into Teferi. Yeah, they basically have to bounce this, so at least we're tying up their Jace the Mind Sculptor. Like, I can't imagine... Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine they leave that in play. The problem is now they have the mana to counter this, so if they have, like, a Cryptic Command, I'm going to be really, really in trouble. Okay. Probably should have played the Silence first, but here we go. Yeah. Definitely should have played the Silence first. What the hell was I doing? I have 2 Silences in my hand. I'm just being sloppy and terrible. Well, we got a Pithing Needle there to Teferi. Time Raveler. Moved my Nether Void into my EDH deck instead of Legacy sideboard. Card. Nether Void. Whenever a player casts a spell counter, that player pays through. Holy crap. That is a world enchantment. Yeah, we're probably just done here, huh? Ugh. And then we didn't even get to activate our Nykthos once for any value. Jeez. Bant control just eating us alive there. I definitely misplayed in game 2, and maybe even in game... No, definitely in game 1, so that was just sloppy awfulness all over. Although I will say Bant control is probably one of the worst matchups you can hit with this deck. The Silences should have helped a lot more, but I just was being stupid with them because I've never played that matchup, and I just assumed that I would get away with stuff for no good reason. You know what we might play after this? Some Turbo Prison. Turbo Prison with some jams sounds like fun. Turbo Prison, the thinking man's prison deck, quote unquote. It's really not. It's the exact opposite. Turbo Prison is the deck where you get to play it and not think about anything ever. I think there were supposed to be some good additions from Zendikar. Feel like Alex knew some. All right, match the third. Pum Daddy. That is a name. Pum Daddy. Hand's a banger. Keeping this one. That's how I see some Bogles. Slap some pants on them and crash in. I haven't played Bogles in a minute. Is Bogles playable right now? If Bogles is playable right now, you could play Bogles. I haven't seen a Bogles list in forever, so I assume not. Yeah. I can't imagine why, though, because, like, the mono-red deck and the black-red deck, like, those decks can't possibly be good against Bogles. Well, we have again managed to be against a deck who doesn't care about our Leyline of Sanctities at all. So that's always fun. Bogles is kind of just always good and awful at the same time, right? I mean, yeah, but there's times where it's more good / more awful. Like, Omnath probably gives you a real problem. And the Omnath decks. If they're playing Cryptic Command, especially. The green-white lands deck is probably a problem, because they actually have enchantment removal in them. Cleansing Wild. You douche. It was good when Phase 3 started. What? Oh, yes. Yes. Understood. Well, good thing we drew a land. Cast Solemnity. Oh, this person is following the fact that Aspiring Spike did well with this deck today. Good to know. I wonder. Okay, so they're gonna have counter magic of all kinds of varieties. Not a huge amount, but they'll have enough. Yeah, it's Jeskai Wildfire. So it's Jeskai control / tempo. Just gonna be here with my displeasure for a second. Oh, Evert. Oh, Evert. Why you gotta do me like this? Alright, well. Lotus Bloom's on the way again. Friggin' Force and Negation decks. All up in my business. I love them so much. White. Really? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I guess. If you really felt like that was necessary. How? Okay. Hey! I freaking love this guy. We're gonna keep this guy in our hand. How do you always manage to draw a 2x form? That's a really good question. I don't have an answer for you. Because I'm bad, I guess. Yeah, because this is really bad again. Enduring Ideal can't put enchantments into play from your hand. And so these being my only win conditions, that makes this situation really bad. They put the Cleansing Wildfire on top. You, opponent, are a jerk. They have 6 Galdern cards in hand. The hope is that multiple of those are Lightning Helix and Lightning Bolt. Let's find out. If they have a Force of Negation here, I can safely assume they won't cast it. Okay. I do wish I had a copy of Silence here, but we've got another Lotus Bloom on the way, so we're just gonna jam. Hold on, no, we're not. Hold on. Let's see if we can have some extra mana up here for a mana leak. Yeah, we can. Good. So we can pay for a mana leak. If they have Force of Negation, obviously we're no good. If they have Cryptic Command, we're in huge trouble. But if this resolves, we are in good shape. Nope. Double mana leak, maybe? At least that would be kind of okay. Snapcaster Mage for Remand. Again, opponent, you are a douche. Good player, but a douche. Yeah. Well, we'll play out on Thin Ice just for the devotion. They'll be able to Cleansing Wildfire at next turn. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. And it's possible we'll be able to cast Enduring Ideal next turn. Although, again, we really don't want to do that because our Form of the Dragons are in there. I was gonna say, imagine opening a pack of Saviors of Kamigawa for draft and you pull Enduring Ideal, but let's be honest, who wants to draft anything Kamigawa? I do! Betrayers of Kamigawa is an awesome set, dude. It's got ninjas, and it's got, oh no, they get to flashback the okay, this is some bull donk. Also, did I? Okay, good. I did. Betrayers of Kamigawa has Umezawa's Jite. Like, it's got cool equipment in it. Like, the sets are cool, and they're fun to play. They're just, good lord, that was terrible. Oh, good. They have another Flagstones of Trocaire. So they still have 7 cards in hand. Yikes. How long are we on this Lotus Bloom? Oh, the full number of turns? Great. All right. Well, we'll wait until that comes off suspend. We'll cast one more spell, and then we'll lose. So we won the matchup lottery by playing against Bogles, and it was a Herculean struggle to try to win that match. But not to be defeated. Then we get faced up against Jeskai Control that is just gonna, like, beat us on every possible axis with ease. Like, incredible ease. If we're saying controversial things, I like playing with banding. You can get the out. Yeah, Infect. Sorry, Infect was the matchup lottery we won. We won the matchup lottery with Infect, and then everything else has been brutal. Bant Blue Soup, Jeskai Blue Soup. Well, you got more? Holy crap. They're just upping the clock here, okay. All right, opponent, do you have a single counterspell, including Spell Pierce? Because if you do... I mean, I don't... The only problem with banding is it's just not a very fun mechanic. Like, it's okay, and it contributes to the gameplay in its own way, but it's really... It's not worth having. Like, group blocking, as far as I remember, group blocking sort of accomplishes like 90% of what banding does, without being terrible. So... Can I do it this time, Daddy? Please? Yeah. Cool. That is a terrible Game 1 deck. However, rest in peace, Grand Abolisher, Archon, and Pithing Needle. So we got 10 board-ins. Leyline out. On Thin Ice, probably mostly out. And then Phyrexian Unlife out. And that's a clean sideboarding, but again, let's bring back some On Thin Ice and take out some Solemnities. 9 lives does most of what we need it to do against taking damage. In theory, Leyline is okay because it stops us from dying to Jace and it gives us early mana. But I don't really think it's worthwhile. Actually, yeah. You know what? If we do go to game 3, I think I'll swap those 2 on Thin Ice for... yeah, we're going to keep this. Ooh. Well, I saw 2 lands, Grand Abolisher and Rest in Peace. I didn't realize I had 3 blank pieces of cardboard in my hand, so here's hoping this works out. If they early path my Grand Abolisher, I'll probably be pretty happy about it. We'll see. I will definitely be kind of happy about it, but we'll see. Yikes. Well, sack your fetch land, nerd. There you go. Get the fuck out of here. They're gonna mana leak it. Oh no. Alright. They're not afraid of Suppression Field affecting their planeswalkers, but they should be. Oh, alright. That is an expensive fetch land. Nykthos. Well, hopefully this doesn't get horribly massacred again. I'm going to swing my Grand Abolisher into their potential Snapcaster Mage. Alright. We got away with it. Let's play Rest in Peace. Can't leak it. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, and they can't play a Snapcaster Mage. Doy. Jesus Christ. Read your own cards, Zach. Read your own... I'm just not used to playing with cards that are this obnoxious. Grand Abolisher is really, really obnoxious. My god. Jace? Cleansing Wild. Jeez. Ha! That was going to be actually worth some mana. Yeah, well, okay. Cleansing Wildfire is mean. I don't like that card. I want to go back to playing Death and Taxes where my opponent could never search their library. On the other hand, this Grand Abolisher is giving them the business. Like... I'm gonna play this Archon of Sun's Grace, and I might silence them during their upkeep, and that might be the game. So this currently taps for 4. Yeah, I have 1 mana open on their turn. Huh. I mean, there's no reason not to. This seems like a really reasonable way to try to win this game. So let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I could Enduring Ideal this on my turn if this resolves. They remand it. They have to spend 2 mana on that. And if they kill my Grand Abolisher for multiple mana, then they have to have a... Oh, they just scoop. Got him. Nice game, nerd. So I'm assuming that game was the result of them having like little to no creature removal for game 2, and the fact that I drew a quote-unquote creature-heavy hand. I'm not going to change my sideboarding. I'm just going to hope that they board back in a bunch of their creature removal, and it lines up badly against my draw, because I don't really think that many of these sideboard cards can change the way this matchup's going to play out all that much. But it was worth seeing that like that can happen in this matchup. White Weenie. We'll get to White Weenie later, Jiggy. Oh, can I keep this in this matchup? Did my opponent mulligan? They did not. I got a mulligan. God bless it. You know what? We're going to keep this, and we're going to keep both the Nykthoses. And we're going to ship the snow-covered, or ship the On Thin Ice and hope that everything works out. Because we know our opponent is playing multiple copies of Cleansing Wildfire, so our Nykthos will not be long for this world. Let's play it out first and tempt our opponent to kill it with fire. Hey, look, opponent, it's that land you love killing. You should destroy it and give me a plains, because that is clearly not what I want. Why would that be something that I desire? Don't kill it. I love this Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. It allows me to create mana for the devotion that I have to white, which is, of course, currently 0. Alright, well, Greater Auramancy, not the worst thing in the world. My enchantments have Shroud! For real? Remand, huh? Yeah, I guess. Hey, if I play a Nykthos Shrine to Nyx and it kills my other Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, am I allowed to search my library for a Plains card and put it on the battlefield tapped? I mean, they've been doing it with their Flagstones of Trocare. It seems fair. I'm just saying that would be fair. I think we need a new legend rule where that is the legend rule. Okay, you can't force this and you can't bolt it once it resolves. So, your move. Teferi enters the effects area, sure. Pass the turn? That is one dead Teferi if you pass the turn. No, come on. Don't be like that. Madcap experiment on end step. That is some BS. I just put my... Look, and I put an On Thin Ice on the bottom of my library. This is not an okay... This is not okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Play Nykthos. Keep that Nykthos. Tap the Nykthos. Play Archon. Pass the turn. I mean, they're both legendary, so why not? That's what I was thinking. Is your Nykthos named Flagstone? I'm just explaining how I think the legendary rule should work now. I mean, they've changed it multiple times in my playing career, and I would appreciate it if they just change it one more time. Cleansing Wildfire? Ooh, you... No, that's a bad Teferi. Okay. Opponent, have I told you that you're a jerk? You're a jerk. So legendary lands just ramp, right? I'm just saying I think that would be fair. I think everyone would agree that that would be fair in exactly this context. I didn't say they ramp, they let you search for a basic plains. I mean, that's not helpful if you have a second Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth in your mono black deck. We're going to take this 8, and hopefully they don't have double bolt. We've seen them play next to no burn spells over this matchup, so... What? Okay? Okay. So that's just for... Okay. And this has lifelink? Good. Okay. So... Let's make some friggin' dudes. We're gonna Pithing Needle Jace the Mind Sculptor first. Urborg Legend Rule myself. This is fine. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yes. Alright, play Greater Auramancy. Trigger. Get a dude. Attack, gain 3. So, and then if I have to chump block, I will, but the Pegasus isn't adding to my devotion to white, So that's all right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 mana right now. So we just have to chump block the Platinum Empyrean. So that's what we're going to do. And we get to gain... Well, no, I can just chump block the Snap, right? And then I'll take the 8, go to 1. This is a terrible idea, but we're going to do it because I decided. I'm the decider. This is a terrible Roger. I haven't watched that show in forever. Oh, Franiel. By the way, Pox says hi. Who the hell is Pox? Oh, you mean the card Pox. You mean smallpox? Pox would kill me too, but I think smallpox would also kill me. Why did we only go to 1? Because we gained 2 off the lifelink on our Pegasus. Archon gives our guy lifelink. Pegasus creatures you control have lifelink. Yeah. I think our opponent also might be confused about why we're laughing. Oh, it feels good to laugh. At the pain. Am I missing something that is keeping me from cracking this flooded strand? No? Never mind. What? Oh. Yeah. Okay, that's a really good draw. I mean, it's okay. So let's go... Grand Abolisher. Grand Abolisher. Go to combat. Attack for 3, 4, 5. And then... on their turn, we're going to silence in their upkeep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on our next turn, we're going to cast... Enduring Ideal, so we need oh shit, I just clicked through. Sure hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. If they go to combat and they attack, we'll cast the silence then. It's not as good as if I had done in their upkeep, but it's close. Shit. I hope this isn't Mind Sculptor. Oh no! Wait, that would have killed me anyway. That would kill me literally no matter what. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we would have been dead no matter what there. Shit. Platinum Empyrean working that way is beautiful. I mean, it's weird. Why attack for 5? We only gain life from the Archon. I just wanted to reduce the clock on them for no particular reason. And in my mind, like, Jace doesn't beat me there, and I couldn't think of what did beat me there. And the obvious answer was Cryptic Command, because it's the best card in all of Magic, and then it did. Oh, right. Yeah, obviously Jace doesn't beat... Even if they could activate a Jace to bounce my creature, it wouldn't beat me there because I had 2 blockers. And they hadn't played, like, any removal all match, so... other than, like, 2 Path to Exiles in game 1. Which, yeah, you know what? I obviously shouldn't have attacked with the Grand Abolisher there, but... I mean, there was a bunch of ways I lose, but you're probably right. That is a good hand for the Dark. No, you're definitely right. I think we... Even when I was doing it, I was like, I don't need to attack with this Grand Abolisher, but I did it anyway, because I was like, I don't know, go fast. You are... Yeah, you are correct. Thank you. All right, let's see a swamp for once, please. Might restart my router, my stream is lagging, and it's not my PC. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that can happen. Hagra Brood... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oops, all spells. All right, well, we're definitely able to cast an Enduring Ideal on turn 3. Let's see if we get there. Suppression Field might be really good in this matchup, but I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, this is some bad news already. Okay, dead on turn 3 maybe. I've actually never had this deck turn 3 me, so just making sure this is the correct version of the deck. So 4 Creeping Chills, 3 Vengevines. They must have one in their hand. Yeah, we're just dead here. Yikes. Suppression Field makes half of the combo cost 2 more. Yeah, the Balustrade Spy. All right, so we bring in Rest in Peace. Leyline is probably still okay. Gideon's intervention is also okay. Archon is probably I guess Torpor Orb turns off half their combo. So we have to Pithing Needle turns off the other half of their combo. Solemnity 9 lives, definitely good. Wall of Omens, not best. Suppression Field, also probably not worthwhile. Greater Auramancy, probably not that good. On Thin Ice, probably not that good. Silence is good. So let's bring in Torpor Orb and Pithing Needle. And then we're basically picking of like the remaining cards here, what's the most likely to be useful. Okay, so we can't use Gideon's intervention on Creeping Chill, so putting Form of the Dragon into play too early is not a good idea. Field stops Belcher from the board and the one dude, Undercity Informer. Yeah. That's the one I was thinking of. I think out of all the cards that I'm currently not including in the deck, I think Suppression Field is probably the most useful. Is it? No. It's probably Wall of Omens, honestly. Just a cycling card that that is a blocker. And a Devotion Pip. Like that's the we're keeping the ley lines for their sideboard cards. We're also keeping the ley lines for yikes. I can't keep this. I really want to keep this, but I don't think I can keep this. And probably should have the Greater Auramancies in here to protect our Rest in Peace, but I can't keep this, but it's so close. Like if we knew we were gonna draw planes on turn 2, we could keep this, but we don't. Okay, it's not too bad. We'll ship planes, and then we just gotta hope that we draw good stuff from here. Because Phyrexian Unlife is definitely going to keep us alive through their combo kill, and the question is, like, what can we do the turn after that? If we have Solemnity, obviously we're banging. Yeah. Thanks, deck. Thank you. That's exactly when we needed to draw that. Rest in peace. Well, Unlife will keep us alive at minimum. Oh, well, I mean, that ain't not bad. Although we have a toss-up here because Phyrexian Unlife guarantees us a turn, whereas Pithing Needle doesn't guarantee us anything at all, so we'll play the Unlife. We'll hope that this is good enough. Don't get comboed too fast. I mean, that's the dream, but... Oops all spells when it's firing on all cylinders like this, I mean... Not easy to avoid dying. Yeah. Charbelcher. Well, that's going to work in a bunch of ways. Yeah, you are definitely not killing me with the Charbelcher. In a bunch of ways. I know I just said that, but like, even if they bounce my Leyline, we live because of the Phyrexian Unlife, so... Okay. So we're gonna take up to 12, and then it's gonna be 3 Vengevines attacking. So... Oh, only 2 Creeping Chills. Wait, so that means we go to 14, and then we get attacked for 12? So... I'm just gonna take it and go to 2. And then we don't even start gaining Infect until next turn. So that's huge. Gives us multiple turns. Plus we get to have our opponent actually have to play through their combo, which... Let's see how long it takes them. It's not actually a very complicated combo, it's just like a pain in the butt. Phantasmagorian is returned to their hand from graveyard, sure. And they have 1 card in library because... reasons? Is that how Phantasmagorian works? I don't know. Nope. No. Why is there a card in their library? Anybody? Nexus? Was there a Nexus that got revealed? Shit, I bet there was. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's a Nexus. Yeah. So... we'll block one of these, though. We go to 2. And then next turn they put us to 0. And then they deck out. So they need a way to discard their Nexus or they lose. Just Pithing Needle their Charbelcher for insurance. And hope that they don't have any kind of out. And there's nothing I can do about it if they do, so... good luck me! Pitching Needle Phantasmagorian. What? Oh, we could have pithed the Phantasmagorian. I mean, I don't think it matters anymore. Got him? Yay, magic! They went for a combo kill that they couldn't possibly get. The Gorian is stuck in hand. Yeah, it's not like they could cast it. Like, they already put it in their hand, and then they couldn't cast it. All right, let's bring these Greater Auramancies back in, because I'm an idiot. And... so this doesn't help us against Vengevine, but it helps us against the Balustrade Spy, so I think it's worth keeping. If they had a land and Creeping Chill just from hand, it would suck, though. I mean, yeah, but there's no way we could have stopped that, unless we had a Silence, which we didn't, so... like, there's only so many things you can beat, right? Let's board out a 9 lives, because 9 lives seems bad here, and a Gideon's Intervention to get the... well, you know what? We'll keep only 1 Greater Auramancy, and I think I want as many ways to stay alive and combo with Solemnity as possible. I think I only need 1 Greater Auramancy. I think if I have 1, it's going to be good enough. Like, obviously, the perfect block is to have 2. Also stops the swords for the Narcos. Oh, it does do. Yeah, there you go. So then when they go to combo kill, they can't... Yeah. Exactly. So if they combo me and I have a Torpor Orb in play, it means that they only get to Creeping Chill me multiple times, but they don't get to Vengevine. Yeah. Yep. I caught up backwards. All right, we got Phyrexian Unlife, Silence, and Solemnity. Let's go, baby. It You don't ship these hands, and they mull to 5. All right, maybe we get the plus side of variance on this one. Let's grab that end of the variance stick and pull hard, baby. Beat them. Beat them with the variance club. They shock the turn to... Do they have a Veil of Summer in hand? Why would you want the... Okay, whatever. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good in the head. If it looks like they're going to have 4 mana on turn 3, we'll keep our silence, and then we'll silence them on their upkeep on their turn 3. You guys should do Project Epic next on the pod, lol. Oh, that would be fun. The black one is Surgical X, where X is the number of cards in your hand, right? Nature's Claim, maybe. Yeah. Good call, Georgie boy. Could be a Nature's Claim. Yeah, actually, that makes perfect sense because they mulled to 5. No, I mean... Yeah, no, that's a good guess. Project Epic would be funny. Definitely could be right up our alley. I feel like our podcast is like the slightly less competitive, slightly less intelligent version of Faithless Brewing. We have some cogent points in terms of overall theory crafting, but in terms of actually putting together decks that are good at Magic, I feel like we're some good entertainment value, and occasionally we come out with something good, but we're not as focused on producing tournament viable decks as those guys are. All right, so it's not really gonna help me out too much to just jam Phyrexian Unlife here, but if they're gonna combo kill me next turn anyway, like, I need this. So let's see if they have Nature's Claim into combo. Okay, they didn't have the claim, or at least in theory they didn't have the claim. Okay. Red and a blue. Okay, cast the Spy with a green open. It's like Faithless Brewing, but splashing for 2 more colors. That is very accurate. Okay, I'm sure there's something that's going into the graveyard here that's going to horribly massacre me, but not sure what. Okay. This is 3 Creeping Chills. Oh, they're just going to have enough to kill me here. Shoot. But they're not, because I have the Unlife, so I'm not going to die this turn. And then I'm going to cast the Solemnity and win? Question mark? OP has to have claim in hand? I mean, to win the game, yes. Maybe they don't and they just hope that they're going to win next turn. Because I think that's legit. Like, if you're the kind of person who registers oops all spells, you're like, well, I gotta go for it. Gotta get them. Nope, there it is. Of course they wait until the last possible second to play it for no good reason. All right, well, if I draw 9 lives or another Phyrexian Unlife, we could be okay. Oh, no, that's 16 damage, we're just dead. Well, my opponent's a jerk, but that's okay. They had the nuts, and we died. Close one, though. So we are 1-3. But we faced Band Control and Jeskai Control, so those were god-awful, and then that matchup was pretty close. Infect felt like more like a 50-50. Like, obviously we did win, but I felt like they could have won. Like, they never had a nuts start. If they had ever had a turn 2 kill, I don't think we reasonably could have done anything about it. We never had a turn 1 on Thin Ice against an Infect creature. We could have turn 1 on Thin Ice a Noble Hierarch once. We didn't, but we could have. All right. Suck my Wally. Opponent? It's a little aggressive. Sounds about right with this deck, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. Nah. Yeah, all right. We'll ship the Form of the Dragon out of this one. The Wall of Omens makes this hand. Let's see if we can finally hit something like Black-Red Prowess or Mono-Red or... What? Tonight is the night where I hit all the control decks. Of course. Of course. Why would it not be? But it has a sweet avatar, though. Who's that? Teysa? Yeah. Oh, no. Spike, why? Oh, man. All right. Today is not a good day for playing any kind of deck that relies on non-basic lands. I love Silence as a card. Yeah, Silence is a neat card. But and anyone who wants to play Tron, this is not your day. Anyone who wants to play probably most versions of Death Shadow, today is not your day. But it should be a good time to play the mono-white creature combo deck that we're going to play next. I played it yesterday. I went 1-2 on stream, but I actually managed to finish up that league 3-2. So we're gonna get back to that guy. Bounce my wall? Nope. Thanks, opponent. Jerk. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no. You could silence in response to the last suspend trigger to protect Lotus. Yeah, that's definitely a play I could make if they hadn't played their Teferi. Yikes. Ugh. Brutal. Teferi Time Raveler. Raveler of Obnoxiousness. All right, let's get the Archons in, and then we'll take out... excuse me. Some copies of Unlife. I mean, I didn't want to play out the rest of that game. That was not gonna be pleasant for anybody. Like, it just... With the hand I had, it was just awful. Double on thin ice. And a silence that would never be relevant because... Who is the lockdown exactly? Did you just put a pumpkin around my emote? Well, that's kind of neat. All right. Sand sucks. In this matchup. This is much better. Thank you, deck. 9 lives go away. I mean, the double Wall of Omens is not particularly helpful, but it's something. All right, let's see if this player is playing Lightning Bolt. All right, Grand Abolisher, get on the beat down. All right, draw a card. As a Western Canadian, these snow-covered plains are a little on the nose. They are. Where are you from, BC or the prairies? Because the prairies are obviously the ones where it's this is more prairies-y, and this is a little bit more BC with the big ass beautiful mountains in the background. But I mean, in Ontario we have the Shield. I mean, it's in terms of height, it's weak AF compared to the actual Rocky Mountains you guys have out there. But it is mountainous. It's just short. Alberta. Oh yeah. I've been to Calgary for the Stampede when I was like 14, and I went to sailing camp as well. I am not a yuppie of any level, but I occasionally had yuppie-like experiences in my life due to my adjacency to some mildly wealthy people. But we... Anyway. All right, are we dead to Teferi again? Let's find out. On this episode of Dragon Ball Z. Do we have the worst matchup ever against Jeskai Cleansing Wildfire, which is apparently the hotness? Thank you, Aspiring Spike, and your Twitter clout. What do you got, nerd? Jace? Oh my god. It's like our creature, or a deck that's entirely based on beating creature decks is not able to beat non-creature decks. Okay. I think I'm done. We're just not gonna entertain these games anymore. All right, so brutal league. We got a little bit of lucky matchup variance on the beginning, and then some just terrible luck over the entire league. Whether it was running into blue soup force negation decks in the form of 2 Jeskai Wildfire decks, or the 1 Bant Control deck, or just drawing multiple copies of Form of the Dragon into our hand when we needed to be able to cast it with Enduring Ideal, and the Oops All Spells opponent having it all when they needed to. That said, Enduring Ideal had a bit of a resurgence a couple of weeks ago, and obviously I am choosing a timing in the metagame where it's a little less viable than it was. That said, it's neat, and it's definitely powerful, and this configuration is intelligently put together, and it's definitely going to be good again if you pick the right time and place. For now, I'm going to go make myself up another delicious beverage. This will be posted to YouTube, so if you're checking this out there, don't forget to like this, don't forget to subscribe. And I will be back in just a few moments with mono white creature combo Heliod. We're going to listen to some tunes. We're going to hang on out. So if you want to hang out for that and jam to some creature combo, then stick around. And I'll probably throw that on my YouTube if we're only listening to the dank. I just wanted my Legends enchantments to be playable. Yeah. Teferi's a pain in the butt.
In heaven, you get to do whatever you like best all the time.
What's the neutral evil in the alignment chart? It is 3 Oblivion Rings. So if you have 3 Oblivion Rings in play and nothing else, the game locks, and it's a draw.